Welcome back to another episode of the Breadwinner Energy Podcast. Hello, friends. Today is a bonus episode. I know that right now on the podcast, we are in the middle of a series that I am running towards the end of the year, which is all about signing clients. But in the meantime, I wanted to give you guys a bonus episode. And the reason being is because we are currently enrolling students in Offer Bootcamp, which is our 9-month group coaching program that helps you build a group coaching program for yourself. And we are doing an exclusive bonus if you join by this Friday. So you have today, tomorrow, and Friday to join this program and get these two exclusive bonuses. Bonus number one is that when you join, you're going to get a 90-minute live workshop with me. It's going to be small group. And what we're going to do is we're going to build your entire group in that call. We're going to workshop on how to do it. And then we're going to open up coaching and feedback for niching down and naming your program and making program decisions and your program result and your framework, how long your program should be, and everything we're going to cover in today's episode. The second bonus when you join by Friday is that we're going to do another workshop live for 90 minutes. And I'm going to tell you and teach you exactly how to get 100 leads in your business without ads or social media. This is a skill that you can use a million times over in your business. And it is one of the top things that I teach inside of Coach School. So this will be an exclusive live workshop and coaching with me for 90 minutes on how to do this in your own business just by joining Offer Bootcamp. So if you have been considering Offer Bootcamp, you've been considering building a group coaching program or a scalable offer, this is the program for you. Now, if you're like, I'm not quite sure. Maybe I do want to do this. I've been thinking about it, but I'm just not sure. I have two things for you. Number one, listen to today's episode. I think it will clear up a lot for you. And then number two is to come over on Instagram and message me at it's Tay Daniels _LLC, and we can talk about it. Because I'm a firm believer that two things. Before joining a group coaching program, you need to know if this is the problem you currently have in your business, and if this is the problem you need to solve immediately, and then is this the coach that you should be hiring to solve said problem? Do you guys vibe together? Do you like the coach? Do you like the coach's methodologies and the way that they teach things? And if you've been listening to my podcast, if you listen regularly, then I think you will probably know if I am the coach for you, right? By listening to someone's podcast, you get a good idea of their thoughts and their beliefs and the way that they run their businesses and their programs and the way that they articulate that information to you. So you're going to know right away if we vibe, right? You're going to know right away if we gel. And I think too, another piece of this is like knowing the support that you get from a coach, because there's a million different business models out there. And for some coaches, their businesses and programs are literally just too big for them to give hands-on coaching and support. And so it's impossible for them to do that. For some of them, they prefer to hire co-coaches. And while I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with having support coaches, and we've had them in the past, and we usually hire alumni as our support coaches if we need them, I also know that there's this thing with a lot of people where they're like, I actually want coaching from the coach. Like, I want to learn from said coach, right? And so it has been my mission for a really, really long time now to build these spaces where there's not too many of you so that I can be the one that comes in and does the coaching. I can be the one that gives the feedback. And so in Offer Bootcamp, you're going to get 9 months of coaching with me, 2 calls every single month on Zoom, small group, and you get coaching and one-to-one feedback, as well as weekly feedback and coaching inside of our Slack channel, which is really big. For a $3,500 program, getting a lot of my time and attention on a weekly basis is a really big deal in the coaching space. And that has been something that I have been a firm believer in for such a long time. And so if you have been wanting to build a group coaching program or scalable offer, but you're just not sure, I want you to first is listen to this episode, listen to a few episodes even if you haven't been listening, come over and message me on social. I will ask you a few questions and I will know right away if this is or isn't the program for you. Inside Offer Bootcamp, we give you a no BS, simple and strategic way to build a group coaching program in just 90 days. We don't believe that a group coaching program is a course with calls. That is a hill I will just simply die on. That is not a group coaching program. Group coaching programs should be structured in a specific way so that your students are getting these results from you. And a course is more self-paced, and then they come in and they can ask you a few questions. And I don't think there's anything wrong with adding in calls to your course if you want to, but that's just simply not a group coaching program. A group coaching program is where you come in as the coach, you lead a group, not only with your curriculum, but with your coaching and support. So Offer Bootcamp, this program is specific for coaches and service providers. You're done trading time for dollars, you're done with one-to-one, and you are ready for a scalable business model. So you're ready to build a scalable program. You have skills, right? You've learned these skills. You have said specific skills, but you're also stuck trying to figure out your niche or your process or your results or even how to sell or raise your prices. And that is exactly what this program does. Okay. This program is going to be for you if you are burnt out with one-to-one clients and work and you feel like you're always taking one step forward and one step back because you'll sign another client, but you're burnt out on time, you're capped on time, you're afraid to raise your prices, your niche isn't clear, or you're just literally not niching down at all. Your messaging is weak, your freebie's not doing shit, and your email list is a ghost town. You either have no one on your list, you don't even have a list, you're not showing up for your list, or you don't know what to say to your list, and you're worried that you just can't fill a program. I hear it all the time. I'm not fully booked out, but I'm also thin on time and I'm not able to scale. That is exactly why you should build a group coaching program. I did not launch a group coaching program first before having like a quote unquote booked out one-to-one roster, but I was thin on time and it just wasn't working. If you have tried everything, you've tried launching a membership or a course or low ticket offers or pop-up offers, you've tried raising your prices or even played with the idea of it, or you've been downloading every single freebie and free class you can, but nothing is happening. Nothing is moving for you. You're trying to ask your audience how much they're willing to pay and what do they want to quote unquote get market research. And you're asking them how long your program should be instead of just making decisions based on logic. Building a group coaching program is based on logic. We have reasoning for every single decision we make. And we go through this process with you of helping you make a decision. Is it open and closed cart? How much should you charge? How long should the program be? And we do that based on a few things. How long does it take them to get this result? How long will it take them to go through the framework and master whatever result you give them? We don't just ask our audience what they're willing to do, but we lead the group. We come in as the leader and we make decisions. Okay? If this is you, if this sounds like you, if you're like, this is me, I'm about to list off things that I think that you probably really want. And if you're like, yes, I need this is the program for you. First and foremost, monthly recurring revenue. This was the number one thing that changed my business was that inside building a group coaching program, I was able to create monthly recurring revenue for 6 to 24 months by signing clients and having a payment plan, which sets you up for such relief in your business when you know that you have monthly recurring revenue stacking for 6 to 12 months minimum. Then you can go a month and not sign a client. I even went 6 months and didn't sign a client, and I was still able to have that steady recurring revenue that I could depend on every single month. Which leads me to then you have a business that's super sustainable. You have a business that doesn't rely on all of your time all the time or signing one-off clients. You're working less while finally delivering a really, really good experience. This has been another key piece for people. Like, I don't want to lose the hands-on experience that I give my one-to-one clients. And the way that we build programs, you give them a better experience. Almost every student that has come through a group coaching program of mine over the last 3 years has said, I've gotten better, faster results because of the community, or that the community was their most favorite part of the program because they were able to be in spaces with other women. They were able to network. They were able to rely on each other. They were able to feel like they aren't alone. And we curate our spaces so that the women in these groups are super supportive. There's no weirdness, there's no shame, there's no judgment, there's no cattiness. We don't do any of that. We curate spaces of very mature, successful women who are really, really ready to change their lives and the lives around them. And when you put those women in one space together, it is the most incredible thing I've ever experienced in my whole life. Your messaging, that's another thing, is you want to have messaging that actually positions you as the go-to coach in your niche. You're the coach that people think of, and you're the person that they want to hire when they're ready to jump into whatever it is that you're selling. And you want a scalable offer that doesn't burn you out. That's a big piece of this is like you truly need to maximize time for dollars and not be pricing based on how many hours you have in a day because that is a limited resource. You want confidence. You want so much confidence in the work that you do, your messaging and your offers and your pricing and the way that you're showing up and the way that you're selling. And of course, you want freedom. You want way more freedom than you currently have. Inside Offer Bootcamp, when you join, you're going to get instant access to our portal with more than 65 trainings, which also has a step-by-step process on how to succeed in this program right away. You're also going to get instant access into our Slack channel where you're going to have a whole group of women ready to support you. You're going to get instant access to our 4-step simple process, as well as those 2 workshops that I mentioned in the beginning of this podcast. You're going to get those completely free. Every quarter, we will be live together virtually doing an all-day workshop where I will teach the entire curriculum live. You'll get 2 monthly Zoom calls with me, with not only getting feedback and project audits, but you'll also get one-to-one coaching even though we're in a group, and you'll get to watch other people be coached on things maybe you never thought about. And then inside the Slack channel, you get coaching and feedback from me every single week. Okay. We don't do half-assed programs. This is something, again, a hill I will die on is that we don't just throw something together, a course together, and slap on some calls and call it a day. Building a program is about real results. It's about having a results-driven program. It's not about flashy marketing with no follow through. That is one of my rules, is that you cannot just be like, I'm going to be really good at marketing and flashiness and putting together a program. And I'm not going to actually learn the skill of coaching and being a really good coach that follows through and shows up for my students. Okay. Here is what we do and what we don't do. We help you create a program that promises and delivers results, and your clients will actually get a transformation that they paid for so that you not only get lots of people raving about you, lots of people getting true impact and results, but then also referrals, really good testimonials. We make you the best coach that you can be by delivering results from that, by truly standing on what you believe in and what you're good at, and we help you pull those skills out. We help you prioritize simplicity, clarity, and sustainable scaling. This is not about adding more to your to-do list and being on social media and having an email list and the freebies and like being all the places. We really talk about simplicity and we focus on quality. Your program is something that you are truly, truly proud of and excited to sell. Here's what we don't do. We don't slap together a half-assed program and charge premium prices and then don't deliver to our clients. We do not do that. We don't focus on programs that you never show up in and that you're just worried about outsourcing to an entire team. We don't tell you to charge prices that you're not mentally ready to charge or just to raise your prices when you don't feel 100% confident in that. Okay? Our program consists of 4 things. Number 1 is your offer bridge, nailing your niche, your results, and your framework, and creating a simple process for your students to go through. Number 2, program decisions. How long should your program be? How to price it, if it's open, close cart, how to name your program legally. Number 3, tech and onboarding. We help you create a simple tech process. I give you my exact template. I give you every tech platform that you need and what you don't need to keep it really, really simple so that you can automatically onboard your students without you needing to be there. And then number 4, we focus on your messaging, your freebies, and your email list growth. The program is 9 months long. It's $3,500 paid in full or 9 payments of $395. And we even have additional financing with Klarna if that works better for you. So the link is below. Go get in now. You have today through Friday to join the program. Now, let's talk about a little bit deeper into this process. Today, we're going to be talking about a few things. Number 1 is niching down. Number 2 is naming your program. And then number 3 is creating a scalable offer. So let's talk about niching. I am a firm believer that you have to niche down, and even further, you need to be micro specific on your niche. There are so many coaches out here that will tell you that you don't need to niche down, and I simply do not subscribe to that. I don't believe in it. I spent years early on in my business not niching down and was a general VA. And I would sign some clients here and there, but it felt really, really hard to articulate like what I do and who I do it for and what I'm good at and what makes me different and what makes me the reason that you should hire me. And I spent years of like signing a client and then not knowing how to sign a client, and then a client would land and then not know. And at that point, I had to decide. I was 2 years in if I wanted to, and I even did apply for 9 to 5 and go back to the working corporate life, or to figure out how to make my business work. And I knew I still wanted to be at home with my daughter. And after going through a few interviews and being told no to a 9 to 5 because I didn't have a degree, I didn't really have a choice but to figure it out and make it work. And I niched down to wedding professionals and was booked out in 6 months. Then, when I stepped into coaching in 2019 and 2020, again, I went through this process of like needing to figure out who I help specifically. And now it's very, very clear that I help coaches, I help service providers become coaches, and then I help coaches who are coaching business or coaching B2B grow and scale successful businesses. And I do that with group coaching, I do that with lead gen and transparent sales. And so it's very clear about who I help, how I help them, what my process is, what I'm good at, what I'm skilled at. And it allows me to write my content so much faster. It allows me to have more clear messaging so people immediately know Tay is for me, right? She's going to help me build a group coaching program. It's pretty straightforward. I'm either a service provider tired of trading time, or I'm a coach doing one-to-one tired of trading time. And I am ready to stop trading so much time for dollars. I am ready to have a scalable business model. I am ready to coach group. And then you would come to offer bootcamp, right? Or if you already have a group and you're like, I'm ready to scale to 6 figures with a group coaching program, like, perfect, come to coach school. It's exactly what I'm going to teach you to do, how to scale simply and sustainably. And we're going to focus on not relying on social media. We're going to focus on organic traffic and building a community, and then transparent sales. We're going to help you focus on being a 6-figure CEO. It's very, very clear. So when I go out to social media, I go out to write an email, I can do it really, really fast because I always know what I'm talking about, who I'm talking to, and what the result is of that. That's one part of niching. Another part of niching is you need to choose a niche that is profitable. This is what we talk about in Offer Bootcamp, is choosing a profitable niche over your passion. Now, if your passion is profitable, that's a double whammy. But for some people, they want to go on passion first. And what we know to be true is that businesses, startups specifically, fail in the first 5 years. And so if you don't choose something that is profitable, that you know you can make profitable right away, and that you don't see the need, or it's going to take a really long time to learn the messaging and the curve of what it is to be profitable, it's probably not a niche that you should start with. We want to start with what is profitable first, because that's going to give you time and money to not only sustain the business, but then you have time and money to go after your passions. And so many people make the mistake of going after passion first because that's the thing they think they're good at, or that's the only thing they think they're good at. It's the only thing they think they can do or coach, which is why, too, I talk a lot about positioning yourself as a coach that coaches businesses and not consumers. Can you be successful coaching consumers? Absolutely. But what I've seen after coaching hundreds and thousands of students is that positioning yourself in the online space to coach businesses not only sets you up to be profitable, it's easier to market, they buy a lot faster. But then when we look at the economy and we look at when the economy tanks, or when people stop buying and consuming as much because of the economy, the first thing that they're going to cut as a consumer are things they don't need, right? And as a consumer, if you hire a coach that helps you with happiness or helps you with joy or even weight loss, that is actually not something they need. It's a luxury. Where if you're coaching businesses, sometimes that is an absolute need. I know for me it is. Having a coach was the way that I got to 6 figures. It was the way that I learned skills of business and entrepreneurship. And it was the number one way that I grew my business to where it is today. It was a non-negotiable that I had to spend in those earlier years to learn. It was something that I had to spend because I knew it was going to ultimately get me to the next level. And without those coaches, I wouldn't have learned certain skills. I wouldn't have learned certain things about myself and my business. And I probably wouldn't have gotten to where I am today, or at least as fast as I did today, because of the coaching and the support and the learning that I had with other coaches. And that is where it becomes more of a necessity versus just a want, just a luxury. So when we're deciding your niche inside Offer Bootcamp, those are the things that we're going to look at. We're going to look at a couple other things too, like what do you have your master's degree in? And I don't mean a literal master's degree, but what are all the things that the skills that you actually have, or the gifts that you actually have that you're not seeing? So many people will come into Offer Bootcamp with one thought: I'm going to coach, this niche, or I don't even know my niche. And throughout that journey, we quickly find that maybe this isn't profitable right now, or it's going to take a long time to be profitable, and it's more passion driven. Or maybe that you think that you have this one skill, but I'm actually seeing that you have this whole other skill. This happens a lot inside Offer Bootcamp. I can think of a couple people specifically. And it was more of like this tweaking of like, you're looking at it through this one lens, but I can see your skills through these 3 other lenses that are actually more profitable right now. And then those students were able to switch their niche, build the program or build the offer, and then go after and make money 10 times quicker. One of them specifically was going to coach moms and then decided to coach CT techs because that's actually what she does in her 9 to 5. And within 90 days, she signed more than 90 clients when it took her over a year trying to push coaching moms and had zero sales. So, positioning your niche to be profitable, to be able to withstand the economy, and to be something that you actually have your master's degree in is one of the most important things that you do when you decide what you're going to coach, who you're going to coach, and how you're going to position your offer. Now, let's talk about naming your program. Yesterday, inside of Offer Bootcamp, we had a call and I talked to them about naming their programs because this is what a couple people are doing right now. And I think that I got a full life lesson this year in trademarks. As a lot of you know, I have a trademark and it took me 3 years to acquire that mark and it took me thousands of dollars. And then this year I had to protect my mark, which also took me almost 9 months and thousands of dollars in attorney fees to protect my mark. And what I see a lot of our students do is when they're naming their program is they either come at it from a place of I'm going to have ChatGPT do it, and then ChatGPT gives you weird names that sound like ChatGPT, or what ChatGPT does is they give you names that are already trademarked and then they don't tell you, and then you go use them, and then you go online and you find out that it's trademarked and you can't use that name, right? What I also have seen is that people then use names that everyone else is using because everyone else is using ChatGPT to name their programs. And I'm like, no, let's not do that. So inside Offer Bootcamp, we help you name your program from a place of it's very clear about what this offer does. It's very clear about what this program is and who it's for and who it's not for. And then we also make sure that it's not trademarked. So I tell you exactly how to search that for yourself, as well as I give you a referral to one of my attorneys who can do a trademark search for you on those names to make sure that you're protected. And then we also talk about if and when it is time for you to trademark your business or your program names or whatever. And someone in the industry also recently, she has her framework copywritten, and so it's hers, right? It's marked that it's hers. And someone else in the industry, they both have like hundreds of thousands of followers, both people, the person with the trademark or the copyright and the person without. And this person was using her specific framework, and she was like, "Hey, like we sent you a cease and desist. You can't use that framework name. It's our framework name." And she's like, "Well, I'm so sorry. Like I got it from ChatGPT." Not an excuse. Like you can't use ChatGPT as the excuse, but also that is proof that ChatGPT is giving out names that are marked, that are trademarked. And sure, you can ask ChatGPT, is this trademarked? And it can tell you yes or no. But trademarks are more in depth than that. It's not about if this specific name or phrase is marked. It's is it close to something else that's also trademarked and in a similar industry and can be confused. And that is where you can get yourself in legal hot water. And so inside the program, we talk a lot about naming your program and how to do it really easily and efficiently so that it's yours. And then we also talk about like the legal aspects of it. Obviously, I'm not an attorney. I can't give legal advice and I never do, but I tell you about how I do it, my experiences, and I also give you those contacts of my attorneys who can do it for you legally. So before you go out and have ChatGPT name your program and name your process, and it sounds so stupid, and it's like the same thing that everyone else is doing and saying. It's like a transformative and it's like a really long, complicated, complex name. Keep it simple, keep it short, sweet, and to the point, and then make sure that it's not trademarked. And the third thing is setting yourself up for a scalable offer. This is also something we talked about in Offer Bootcamp this week is being the leader. So many people, I see it time and time again, they build a group coaching program and then they're trying to give one-to-one sessions and one-to-one support to their students. And then they quickly realize this isn't scalable, but they're worried that if I don't give so many one-to-one attention and I don't give so much one-to-one calls and I don't give one-to-one access for them to message me, then they're not going to want to be in the program. So the first thing here I want to remind you is that people who go out and seek one-to-one coaching and the people who go out and seek a group are usually two different buyer types, right? So for me is if I'm looking for one-to-one support, which I'm almost never looking for, it's because this one coach does this one thing and I want her to give like some consulting, right? Some strategy, maybe like we jump on a consulting call. And the reason I almost never look for one-to-one is number one, it's way more expensive. But number two, it doesn't usually give me what I'm looking for. And the reason I look more at groups and masterminds is because I want to be in rooms with other people doing the thing. I want to be in rooms with other people who have done what I want to do. And I want to be in rooms of people who are open to networking and community because the more people you know, the better you're going to be at this game called entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is not solely based on skill it's also based on the people that you know and the people that you know and the people that they know. And when you can build these big, robust networks of people and you get to learn about more people and you have a person for all the things, and you have a network of people, it's really easy to say, hey, I'm experiencing this problem. And you go into the group and you say, hey, I'm experiencing this problem. Has anyone else ever experienced it? And they're like, oh my God, actually, you know what? I know someone who can help you. Or they're like, actually, you know what? I just went through that a month ago. Here's what I can tell you. That is something in entrepreneurship that I would pay thousands and thousands of dollars for over and over and over again all the time, because that is going to be the key to your success, along with obviously moving fast, making fast decisions, and acting upon the things you want to do. That's going to be one of the most that's going to be one of the biggest pieces of being successful is the people you know, the people in your network. And that is why group coaching is so successful. And that is why we have students tell us over and over and over again, I got better, faster results by being in these groups because of the networking, because of the support, because of the other women, because of what I'm learning from this group. So take this, for example. We're in a group coaching call, okay, inside Coach School. And inside that program, we don't have that many people in at once. I think the most we've ever had in a group at one time was like 28 people in the program at one time. And we keep the room small, obviously, for that reason, which is also why it's high ticket. And so let's say on any given call where we have like 8 to 15 people on call at once. I don't think I've ever, other than our like retreat days, I don't think I've ever even had like all 28 on at one time. Because we have 5 calls a month or 4 to 6 calls a month, then some people are like picking and choosing which dates they come to, right? I digress. So my point is let's say that in that call, there's 10 people and I'm coaching 5 of those 10 people individually, right? So I'll say like, this is the topic, who wants coaching today? Put coaching in the chat. Someone will put coaching. I'll say, all right, come on. And they'll come in and we'll Zoom and they will tell me like, this is what I'm working through. This is the question I have. And then I will coach them on that. And then that will spark so many thoughts and conversations with other people. And then they'll be like, actually, you know what? I did this and I tried this and this is what did work for me. And this is what didn't work for me. And now we're having this full, robust conversation of what didn't work and who they know has tried it. Versus if it was just me and you, the only thing that you have is the coaching that I give you. And while you'll get that in a group, you also get a bunch of other people to chime in. Or what will happen is if you're sitting there listening, you're like, wow, I never thought of that before. I never even thought of that question before. I never even thought of that strategy before. Like, wow, I never even considered doing it that way before, but that's really interesting. And now you're learning from other people's coaching of what they're asking for and what they're doing, as well as hearing how I would respond to that. That is the power of creating a scalable group offer. So, can you give one-to-one intimate support and feedback in a group setting as the coach and still make it scalable? Yes, I've done it for years. I give one-to-one coaching and Slack feedback weekly to my mastermind, to my offer bootcamp, and my coach school program. And it doesn't take me that long, a couple hours a week. And everyone's gotten coached, everyone's gotten responses. And then we meet for a call the next week and we're doing an hour-long session together. And then we do a little bit of feedback in Slack. And yes, I have boundaries and I have office hours. And the thing is nobody abuses those. Do people come in and ask for coaching regularly? Yes. Do people fill up our entire hour asking for coaching? Yes. But every single person gets the support they need when they come and show up for coaching and ask for help and ask for coaching and support. And I'm still able to scale those models and give that feedback and that hands-on support where everyone feels really, really good. Okay, now I want to end this podcast. I want to end this podcast with a testimonial because I think that when other people are proof of what you want to do, that is what makes this work. I'm going to tell you guys about Tasia. I love her. I love all of my students, but I love her. She has followed me now for close to a year. And she joined Coach School here, I don't know, 3 months ago-ish, somewhere in there. And when she joined Coach School, that was right before we had broken apart Coach School and Offer Bootcamp. So now we have the two programs split. So in Coach School, we were still building group coaching programs and selling them and whatever. And so she got in where we did it all in Coach School, but now it's Offer Bootcamp. And she was coaching one-to-one. She's at a 9 to 5, but she really wanted to get to 6 figures. And so what we did was we transitioned her offer into a group model. And she then hosted a 2-day live masterclass and she launched her group coaching program. She's still at a 9 to 5. She's been in business, I don't know, a couple years. And I think her biggest launch was ever prior to this was $6,000. So again, we restructured her program. She did a 2-day live workshop. She got 50 people signed up for that workshop, but only 25 people came live. She sold the program. She still has 2 weeks left of her launch. She's already signed 5 clients. She has 2 more consults set up. She's already made 20 grand, which is a 2x on her investment in less than 90 days. She's had the biggest launch ever that she's ever had in her business. And now she is on track to do her first 6-figure year in 2025 to be able to leave her 9 to 5. In less than 90 days, she restructured her one-to-one into a group. She did a 2-day live masterclass. She had 50 people sign up for that class. 25 came live. 5 people signed up. She has 2 weeks left in her launch. She has 2 more consult calls, and she made 20 grand on that launch. That's insane. That's incredible. I wanted this to be proof to you that even though it feels scary, like I don't know if I can do group. I don't know if group will work for me. I don't know if I can fill a group. And you have all these questions of like, how long should it be? And I don't have a process and I don't know my skill and I don't know my niche. That is exactly what Offer Bootcamp does. That is the literal point of Offer Bootcamp. It's to help you niche down. It's to help you create a signature framework. It's to help you create results of your program. It's hands-on feedback to help you decide your program decisions, how long should it be, and the price and pre-sale, and should I pre-sale, and how should I get people in the group. It also helps you create a freebie that actually converts, get people on your list. I give you an example of 10 emails and exactly what to send your list. I tell you exactly how to onboard clients and if you should do application only or you should book calls or sales in the DMs. It's everything built for you. And when you join by Friday, you get the workshop and we're going to build your whole offer together. And then we're going to do a workshop on getting your first 100 organic leads, which is a skill that you get to use forever and ever and ever. Both of these skills, always knowing how to build a program and always knowing how to build an offer and what the right offer is for you and how to price it and how to structure it, while also nailing your niche and your messaging, while also knowing how to nail freebies, while also nailing how to get leads, is a skill. It are non-negotiable skills you absolutely have to have in your online business over and over and over again. Okay. The link is below. Join Offer Bootcamp. If you're not sure, come over and shoot me a DM on Instagram and we will chat about it. Otherwise, get your ass in there right now and we will chat on the next episode.